I think it's starting. I don't know. It might have just froze. No, we're good. Go ahead.
What's up, you guys? Brad and Derek here, back with another episode of A Brew for Two. We are on episode number 78.
Yep.
We're getting closer to that 100 mark. Just like 22 weeks away.
Yeah. Like probably like end of the year, we'll be at 100.
Yeah, probably by the end of the year. We got some stuff to talk about this week. Lots of stuff happened in the news. Pop culture rise. Me and Derek watched a couple things, and you get to hear our thoughts about that. I finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine this week, which
that's good.
So I finished rewatching that. So now I'm back to having nothing to watch. And
you could finally give Lucifer a shot.
I could.
There's 5 seasons now, 5 full seasons, so
I could.
And a 6th one on the way, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Master, I 2 years ago, actually no, longer than that. When was 2017? 4 years ago? 3 years ago? 4
years ago. We're 2021, so 4 years ago.
So there was a show, Master of None. It's a dramedy created by Aziz Ansari, and it came out in 2015.
Okay.
Season 1 came out in 2015, Season 2 2017, and now Season 3 2021. So I've been watching that. I just finished watching that because it's only 5 episodes. It's only a 5-episode season, so I kind of crushed it in about a day. I was just really bored today after I ran out and grabbed some stuff that I needed to grab, like shampoo and my brother-in-law's birthday present. But other than that, I've been doing nothing. I put on a record, Men at Work, Land Down Under. That's a good record.
There you go.
Yeah, so, and it's been kind of taking it easy this week. Not a whole lot going on with me this week.
Yeah, not much going on with me either. Today I did crap all. Worked all weekend. Today I binged watched all of Lucifer, like between last night and today. Finished the rest of the 5th season, and I didn't know there was gonna be a 6th season.
Yeah, there's gonna be 6 seasons.
The way it ended, I was like, oh, there's gonna be another season.
Yeah, there's gonna be another season.
It wasn't supposed to be initially. That was.
But the highlights of this week were the trailers that dropped.
Yeah.
We got our first look at the Eternals trailer.
Yeah.
Which is the reuniting of Rob Stark and Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Because they're both in this movie, and we haven't seen them together since season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Pretty much, yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so and like the Eternals are these gods that, like, these godlike figures that live on a different planet because that's where in the MCU you can't have godlike figures and have them like based in heaven. You have to have them based on another planet.
Yeah, that's why Thor and stuff like that, they're actually on Asgard, which is basically like a floating planet.
So we got our first look at the Eternals trailer, and we got our first look at what Kit Harington's character, aka Jon Snow, he's playing a character called the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Who apparently, what I found out, he is eventually going to be, he's an important character in the Marvel world, and apparently this is what I heard. I don't know if this is true or not. He becomes the new leader of the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I guess they're gonna go up against their foes that they're gonna go up against. You mentioned this. It's kind of like what Ego is. You mentioned this.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember mentioning this. I actually don't remember. No, it probably was you who said it because I hadn't watched the full trailer yet.
No, I didn't see. So I didn't see who it was, who the villain is going to be, but he's a part of the Deviants. That's what.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we were talking about how Ego, Peter Quill's father, is one of the Deviants because he's kind of.
I don't remember if we were talking about that on the podcast or off the podcast. But I remember that conversation though. Yeah.
But there's a theory that Druig is going to be a villain who is part of the Deviants, and this movie is going to be basically it's gonna go like through each era of the world.
Yeah,
basically.
the world, the first civilizations, basically.
Which it's complicated because then it's just like, okay, so you've been here the whole time.
Yeah, and he couldn't help out when there's aliens invading. Like, he couldn't like lend a hand for 5 seconds against Thanos because you probably would have beat his ass because you can.
I feel like they're gonna explain that in the movie.
Probably. It's probably one of those things where, well, we just don't mess with, we let the humans do what they're gonna do.
We can't get involved.
Yeah, which is like, well, when the entire universe is at stake, you kind of could have.
Yeah, it's like we can't get involved. Like, it's probably like some sort of prophecy and something.
Probably, yeah. Who knows?
Or something like that. So the Eternals trailer dropped this week, and it looks exciting.
Yeah.
For the same reason. So back when they first announced Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody thought it would blow up as it did because Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody really knows who they are.
No, like they're part of the Avengers, but like they're like kind of like the B Squad, basically, kind of thing. So no one took their movies seriously, and until they came out, and then everyone's like,
not really,
"Oh my god!"
Not really the movie. No, yeah, nobody took the movie seriously because nobody knew a lot about them.
If you were a comic book nerd, like you liked them a lot.
So the same thing goes with Eternals. Like when they announced that they were doing a movie called The Eternals, everybody's like, "Who?" Because they're not a big household name.
No, I remember when they announced it. We were talking about it. Like, what the hell is this going to be? Like, what is this?
Yeah. Angelina Jolie's in it, so that it makes her first Marvel appearance. The Stuber is in it.
Yeah.
And he's ripped. He got ripped for the role.
Yeah.
And Kit Harington, Rob Stark.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember his actor's name.
There's a lot of actors in it. I don't remember how many there are of them. There's like, what is there, like 8 or 9 of the Eternals or something like that?
Yeah. And another trailer that dropped this week was the Scream 5 trailer. So
yeah,
we're getting another Scream. It's coming to theaters. I forget when.
I don't remember what it said in the trailer. I really don't. But I mean, I watched it last night because you said it came out. I didn't realize that the trailer had dropped. It seems to be a continuation, I guess, of the original storyline.
Yeah, it seems to be. It is going to be a continuation of. It's going to be like set a couple years after 4.
Yeah.
Because Emma Roberts' character she's insane. She's in an asylum, according to the trailer. I guess they got Skeet Ulrich back to play who was in the original Scream, because he was the original killer in Scream, along with his buddy Stu, played by Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
This is when Matthew Lillard had a giant career.
Yeah. He was in almost everything.
And then after Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed came out, his career kind of took a nosedive.
Yeah.
Well, but he kind of stepped away from real live acting.
Yeah, I think he did a lot of animated stuff.
And he did a lot of animated stuff. He was the voice of Shaggy.
Yeah.
And now he got all pissed off because that movie Scoob came out and they didn't consider him to be the voice of Shaggy.
I mean, I understand, but also you haven't been the voice of Shaggy forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
what was my point to this? Oh yeah, Scream 5 the Scream 5 trailer, and it's a direct continuation.
It just looks like another Scream movie. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
It
doesn't seem teenagers. Yeah, it seems like it's the adults are back again. Like the people who were teens in the movies are adults now.
Yeah, but like teenagers are getting killed again, because that's what's gonna happen.
The adults seem a little more involved this time instead of just being like a teenager thing.
Yeah. The hottie hot from Party of 5, Nev Campbell is back.
The chick from Friends.
Courtney Cox, she's back.
Yeah, there you go.
Dewey's back, who's played by David Arquette. He's back.
I thought he retired, but
he's actually been doing professional wrestling.
What?
So backstory. Back in the early 2000s, remember the company WCW?
Yeah.
Okay, so David Arquette was WCW World Heavyweight Champion at one point.
Oh, okay.
Because they did a storyline with him and Hogan, and he screwed Hogan out of or either him and Hogan or him and Jeff Jarrett. Either way, they screwed somebody out of a title, and David Arquette became world champion.
Oh.
And then a lot of wrestling fans hated him because he's like, why are you giving an actor a wrestling championship? You should be giving a professional wrestler a championship. Why are you giving an actor?
Well, I mean, professional wrestlers are basically actors. Like, it's
basically,
but basically the same thing. Like, I mean,
basically, but so David Arquette was hated for years.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of not been doing much in movies, so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna train to be a wrestler. So that's what he did. He trained to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And so he put on a couple matches, and there's a couple of them were okay. Like, he's not the best at it, but they were okay. And then he got involved with a company called CZW, which is Combat Zone Wrestling, which specializes in Japanese death matches.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So basically these guys, there's some big superstars that come out of CZW, but these guys are just like, they're not professional wrestlers. They're just professional stuntmen, throwing garbage cans at each other and taking light tubes to the back, and
those things actually hurt.
Yeah, and having barbed wire surround the ring.
Jesus Christ!
I watched the 3 weeks ago. I watched Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
and it featured a guy named Nick Gage, who's like the ultimate death match guy in the States. He calls himself that. Okay. And he died after a death match. He died. He got thrown into a light tube, and he kind of got thrown into it the wrong way, and the light tube punctured an artery.
Jesus Christ.
And he had to be airlifted to the hospital. And then while he was at the hospital, he flatlined, and he was dead for 5 minutes.
Jesus.
And they brought him back, and he still continues to do it. But yeah, no. So CZW, which is now called GCW, which is Game Changer Wrestling. It's based out of New Jersey, and they do a lot of garbage indie death matches, which is just stupid because they give wrestling the wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's
It's not wrestling. It's stunt show guys. Even in the 90s, there was a company called ECW. Yeah. ECW was Extreme Championship Wrestling. Yeah. And they took things to a different level. These CZW guys were like, okay, we're going to take it to a higher level. And then the ECW guys were like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, we're like, you guys are dangerous. And they're like, we're not dangerous. Meanwhile, people are getting chainsaws to the head. Yeah, that seems slightly dangerous. Or pizza cutters to the mouth. Yeah, that seems slightly dangerous. Yeah, just a little bit. But anyway, and then David Arquette decided to do a wrestling death match with this guy Nick Gage, who literally sliced him open on the forehead with a pizza cutter. And David Arquette got pissed because he's like, I'm an actor, so I can't. Don't cut me in the head. I'm an actor. But anyway, yeah. So David Arquette's gonna be in Scream 5. Yeah. Which is cool. So he's back as Dewey. Dewey Prescott. Yeah. No, not Dewey Prescott. He had a different name. It wasn't Dewey Cox. That's a different movie. Yeah. Anytime I hear Dewey, and if I'm thinking of Scream, I'm thinking of the scary movies where he. What's up? And he fucks a vacuum. The Dewey character Yeah. Yeah. No. Scream is basically the reason that the scary movie franchises took off. I know they're a what's that? It's a compilation comedy movie of every horror movie. Yeah. But it's mainly just Scream. It's mainly the guy from Scream being like, "What's up?" Back when "What's up" was a cool thing to say. I mean, with that movie, yeah. But I mean, there's been 5 or 6 scary movies. I think there's been 5, and they've covered everything. So it's not just Scream, but that's the one I think is it's most if you ask anybody to quote a scary movie, that's gonna be the quote. Oh yeah,
like 100%. Like there's no other quote that or take my strong hand, you know, or when that
what's
one,
your favorite scary movie?
or that one, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and like, so I'm not a fan of horror movies.
Yeah, I know.
But I was always a fan of Scream. Because
it's not even a horror movie.
Yeah,
I don't consider it a horror movie.
It's a play on horror movies because during Scream, Sydney has this best friend who's very much in the friend zone.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but he's kind of like a horror movie nerd.
It's been so long since I've seen any of those movies, like especially the Scream movies.
And this guy was just like, it's like, oh yeah, it's like you can't say I'll be right back or you die. You can't. If you're a virgin. If you're a virgin,
just
you
don't
live.
even try.
Like who lives? Virgins. Oh, like he goes over the rules of the scary movies,
basically,
and it's just like, and then everybody doesn't believe him of the rules, and then everybody dies by the rules of a scary movie.
Yeah,
because even freaking Stu from the first one. See, I remember Stu's name. Matthew Lillard's character's name, but I don't remember the rest of their names. And I remember
it's been years since I've seen any of the Scream movies.
And like Stu says to Sydney that because she had sex with Billy, she has to die now.
Yeah.
But anyways, also me and Derek watched Cruella last night featuring Emma Stone. That was kind of it wasn't a bad movie, but it was okay. It was good.
It was definitely not a $35 movie. 100%. That was not a $35 movie.
No.
Like there's no. I don't understand why their prices are so fucking high.
Well, I don't even like that was I didn't even see that it was $35.
Yeah, I seen it on the screen. I was like, oh, $34.99.
Well,
like what?
Oh, so I did the same thing when Raya the Last Dragon came out, and it wasn't that much.
No, because it was probably like $20, whatever it was.
It was like maybe $10 cheaper.
Yeah. So like there's like, I don't know what Disney's pricing of that is, but the movie wasn't.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad,
but it wasn't like spectacular.
No, it wasn't. The trailers made it look a lot better, honestly. Yeah. Like
I would give it like 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's I'd feel comfortable around a 6, maybe a 6.5, because I like Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone's a good actress.
Yeah,
she's a good actress. She's like she kind of like nobody remembers her from like Superbad. She was in Superbad as the hot chick in Superbad.
Yeah,
and then she kind of like paved her way with After Easy A.
Yeah,
came out, and then she kind of started getting bigger roles, and then she won the Oscar for The Help.
Yep.
And then she was in Gangster Squad, and then she was in my favorite movie of hers is that one with Steve Carell.
Oh,
and Steve and like
Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah. That is a funny movie. Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell's wife divorces him, and
she's been in a lot of good movies, like even before, or even when the hell was Superbad? 2007.
2007.
Like after that, like I mean, she was in like for Friends of Benefits and shit, like and she's obviously in Zombieland. Yeah, like she's one of the main characters in Zombieland. She's in the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, she was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, she was like I've never watched it.
She might or might not come back for the Spider-Man.
And she's also in like I've never watched it, and I don't know. I don't really have any ambition to watch it, but La La Land.
Yeah, no, it's a good. Yeah, that's a good.
Apparently,
that's another.
Yeah. I've heard it's an amazing movie. I just haven't watched it.
It is a good movie. I went to see it with my sister and my mom.
Yeah.
So she's in this as Cruella DeVille.
Yeah.
Which. So in this movie, her name is not Cruella.
No.
It's actually Estella.
Yeah.
But she has this alter ego called Cruella.
Yeah, this whole movie is just basically like it's an origin story for Cruella DeVille. That's what it is.
Yeah, and you won't believe how she got the car name. I'm sorry, you won't believe how she got her last name is DeVille.
Yeah, it's really fucking dumb.
It's really dumb.
It's so dumb. I was gonna say it. Like a freaking Cadillac DeVille literally drives up, and the guy's like, "Oh, look, a nice DeVille," and she goes, "Oh, I like that."
Well, and then
I was like, "What?"
But the guy is like, "Oh, I got this car. It's called a Devil." And then the other guy's like, "That's a DeVille, not a Devil."
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, I like that, Cruella DeVille." And I'm like, "What? What the fuck just happened?"
But also, there's the 101 Dalmatians characters are in it.
Yeah.
Freaking Roger is the bad guy's lawyer.
Yep.
And Anita Darling is Cruella's childhood friend that they lose contact because she gets kicked out of school.
Yeah.
And then who else? John the butler from the 101 Dalmatians, he's also in it. Horace and the other guy's name, I forget who the other guy is.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
I remember the one being Horace.
Yeah.
Jasper and Horace are in it, and those are her two best friends. And they give her two dogs in it, and then you understand her wanting to kidnap Dalmatians. You understand they give a reason for that because Dalmatians did something terrible to her as a child.
Okay.
So you understand her hatred for Dalmatians. She likes other dogs, but she doesn't like Dalmatians. So you get the reasoning behind that. And there's a little Easter egg at the end, and at the end after credits scene, which I think this is gonna slowly. This is either gonna be a one-off movie, or slowly build to something.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it might be.
And I'm just gonna say what happens after the credits.
Yeah,
because it's just. So there is an after credit scene, and it's Cruella or Roger and Horace, or not Roger,
whoever,
or Horace and Jasper ringing a doorbell with a Dalmatian puppy, and Roger picks it up, and he's like, "Oh, Pongo," and it says, and there's a note that says Pongo, which is the main guy, the father dog in 101 Dalmatian. Yeah, and then same thing happens with Anita Darling, which there's a ring at the doorbell. She answers it, and she also has a Dalmatian puppy, a female Dalmatian puppy, and I forget the name of the female Dalmatian puppy.
It seems they're gonna try and set up something by doing that. Who the hell knows though?
Who the hell knows? Yeah. And that's how. And so this is slowly going to build to probably Roger and Anita marrying the female and male dog, getting it on, and having 101 Dalmatians.
It's a lot of dogs.
That is a lot of puppies. I actually saw a TikTok today of a man with two dogs watching 101 Dalmatians, and it was the scene that Pongo rolls in soot to make him to disguise himself as the lab, and he's running around like, I'm a lab, and he's like, what do you? And the guy's watching it and looks at his dogs like, what do you think about this, guys? And the dogs are like, and the dogs are like racist. But yeah, so yeah, Cruella de Vil, 6 out of 10. After this movie, they're probably there was a movie called Maleficent with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it came out a long time ago now.
Yeah, and there was a sequel to Maleficent, and that's the Sleeping Beauty villain. Yeah. So I think we're gonna slowly get a Disney villain movies.
Well, honestly, they're more interesting than the main characters a lot of the time.
A lot of the time, yeah, because now,
except for Jafar. Jafar's just
Because I think we're getting, well, not really Jafar. I think we're not really the male villains. I think we're gonna get more female villains.
Probably, yeah.
And freaking Emma Stone was like, said in an interview that she would love for, she wouldn't do it, but I would love for Disney to make an Ursula movie.
Yeah, I mean,
which I don't know how you would do an Ursula movie because she's not really an exciting character.
I mean, yeah, no.
She just hates Poseidon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poseidon. Yeah. She hates Poseidon and wants him dead, and she takes Ariel's voice, and shit happens.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna twist that into a backstory. Maybe she was Poseidon's ex-lover, and he dumped her in a terrible way, and
possibly, yeah.
Maybe she has a secret love child with him that they don't know about.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because I don't know, because you don't actually see Ariel's mother in Little Mermaid, so
there you go. That is true. So when the TV show was out, I was a huge Once Upon a Time fan.
Yeah.
And the only reason I was a Once Upon a Time fan is because when season 1 came out, the commercial said from the creators of Lost.
Yeah.
Which could mean when I'm like, oh, the creators of Lost, I'm gonna watch this, but that can mean anything. I realize that as I'm older, when they say the creators of this show also created this show, that could mean anything. That could be like a writer, a director, a producer. Like,
yeah, it literally means anybody who could be on the show. Does not mean the people who actually came up with it as their brainchild. It does not.
Yeah.
No.
so they do have this, like, the femme fatales of Disney in Once Upon a Time. Ursula.
Yeah, but they're like human or whatever it is.
No, they're not human, but they live in the human world, but they're not human. They just were banished from their own world to go live in the human world.
Oh, okay.
But they do have Cruella, Maleficent, Ursula. I think there was one more to that. But yeah, they do have all those, and I kind of like Disney's take on Cruella's backstory more than the Once Upon a Time story.
Well, yeah. Well, Once Upon a Time was made for TV, right? It wasn't really.
And technically, they it was like an ABC show, which was which Disney owns ABC, but they couldn't really like super play hard on Disney characters.
No.
Like,
which is dumb because like the company who owns that character owns the company that's making the show.
The show started getting. I was a big fan of the show, and I watched the whole series.
Yeah.
Show started getting bad around when they started like, oh, let's make like every villain after season, like I think after season 3 or after season 2 or maybe after season 3. I don't know when it started, but all of a sudden, anytime Disney had a big movie coming out, that would be the villain of Once Upon a Time. So freaking Frozen came out in like 2012, and Elsa was the villain in half of that season. So I'm just like, so as soon as that happened, there was like, oh my god, stop! Like, like you had original ideas. Like season 1, the Wicked Witch from Snow White was the villain.
Yeah.
And then season 2, you had, I think, Peter Pan as the villain.
I don't know.
And you found out Peter Pan was actually like Rumpelstiltskin's father, because Peter Pan like was when he was in like actual, before he went to the different realm of the Never Neverland, before he went to Never Neverland, he lived in that storybook place with his son, and he was a washed up bum kind of dad and kind of didn't treat his son well, and then all he wanted to do was be young again, and all he wanted to do was be young, so he got taken to Never Neverland. He found Never Neverland, and he was with his son, and then all of a sudden he makes a wish and he turns to a child again, but now he can't leave. So it was kind of a cool story. But yeah, you heard her thoughts on Cruella. If this looks like a good watch to you, go watch it. It's like I said, 6 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, but it's 6 out of 10, or in Derek's case, a 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So we got a couple news stories this week. Pop culture wise was pretty much popping. So first up, we have some Vampire Diaries news. So Vampire Diaries was a show starring Ian Somerhalder. I never watched it. Derek likes it.
Yeah. I did in fact watch it. I watched all of it, and I watched the originals.
So, and then they had a spinoff called
and the Legacies.
What was the spinoff called? The Outsiders?
For what? Vampire Diaries?
Yeah.
Legacies.
Legacies?
Yeah.
Okay, so
well, there's 2 spinoffs. There's originals and Legacies.
The originals, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But Julie Peck, co-creator of the Vampire Diaries franchise, has received a green light. Oh, you know who's also in Vampire Diaries? Nina Dobrev.
Yeah, she's the main character.
I know.
She's literally the main character.
I know. I kind of blanked on her name, and then it kind of came back to me.
Yeah, she's the main character.
Who is a Canadian actress who started off in Degrassi.
Nina Dobrev, but yes.
Yeah, so Julie Peck, co-creator of the Vampire Diaries franchise, has received a green light from Peacock, which is the NBC streaming service, to create and run an adaptation of Rochelle Mead's famous novel Vampire Academy. Plack will have her longtime collaborator, Marge McIntyre, on board to execute the straight-to-series order on Vampire Academy for the NBC Universal-owned streaming service platform. The story combines themes of aristocracy, adventure, romance, drama to form a thrilling plotline which has been largely appreciated by readers across the globe. The original Vampire Academy story spanned across 6 novels, the first of which was published in 2007. Vampire Academy follows Rose Hathaway, a half-human, half-vampire called, I'm going to say the Hampires. I'm going to say
Dampires? I don't know. Dampires?
I'm going to say the D is silent.
Let's just call them Daywalkers.
Yes, Daywalkers. Teenager who is training to be a lifelong guardian to her pure vampire called Morris.
Morris. Yeah.
Morris? Friend. Lisa Dragomir? Yeah,
Dragomir?
sure. Who hails from a royal bloodline. So we're gonna get this is a spin-off of Vampire Diaries.
Ish. This is already a movie. This came out in like 2014. Yeah. Vampire Academy was a movie in 2014.
Okay. I'm getting Vampire Academy mixed up with Cirque du Freak.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because Cirque du Freak was another vampire movie that was a book series.
Yeah. Like that exact plotline is that's already been done. I was already done in a movie in 2014. I don't think it did very well. I mean, Sarah Hyland was in it, so I don't know. But Vampire Academy is already a movie.
2014, yeah.
Yeah. Same characters, same everything. It's based off the book.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is going to be, if it's going to be a TV show.
It is going to be a series, and it's going to be on NBC Peacock. So we're not going to watch it.
No, we don't get those channels here.
Unless you have a special app on your phone that lets you do that stuff.
Unless you have a VPN, you can just watch whatever the hell you want to watch.
Yeah.
In any country.
So
$11.99 a month.
So this looks like it's going to be an interesting series, and it looks like it's going to be in a series of its own.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, the only reason I put Vampire Diaries is because it's from the co-creator of the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. Yeah, the person who made the TV show, yeah.
And honestly, the way I read that article the first time, it made it look like, oh, it's Vampire Diaries is getting a spin-off. It's called Vampire Academy.
Yeah, it's already got 2 spin-offs. Doesn't need another one.
So next
the other one's still going on.
Yeah. So next up, we have Willy Wonka. A couple months ago, there was 2 actors there is a Willy Wonka movie being made at Netflix. I think this is the one. Same one.
I believe so, yeah.
But there was 2 actors that Hollywood eyed for the role. One being Timothée Chalamet, the other being Tom Holland. Well, Tom Holland's doing Uncharted right now, so he can't do it. So who's next? So in January, it was reported Chalamet was in consideration along with Spider-Man actor Tom Holland to star in Wonka, a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory prequel that will follow a young Willy Wonka and his adventures prior to the opening of the world's most famous chocolate factory. Paul King is directing Timothée Chalamet as Wonka, so Timothée Chalamet has gotten the role, using a screenplay co-written by Simon Barnaby. Previous versions of the script were worked on by Simon Stevenson, Jeff Nathanson, and Steve Levinson. The movie will reportedly mark the first time he really gets to show off his singing and dancing skills, as Wonka includes several musical numbers. According to the January report, Wonka has been set to release in theaters on March 17th, 2023 by Warner Brothers. The Brothers Warner.
I mean, we have the original one, and then we have the Johnny Depp one.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually enjoyed the Johnny Depp one, so I'm not really...
I didn't really enjoy the Johnny Depp one.
No, I liked it.
No, I much rather the Gene Wilder one.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Gene Wilder one was good, but I preferred... I just like the more modern Johnny Depp one.
Yeah.
That's just my thing.
Where, like, Johnny Depp's father is a dentist.
Yeah, wherever he is, yeah.
Who hates Halloween.
Yeah. So he decides to spy him and make a giant candy empire. Yeah.
So I wonder who's gonna play his father in this one, because it sounds like, and I wonder, like, we're gonna see him go to Oompa Loompa Land.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Oh, I'm assuming this is probably gonna be an origin story. This time.
Is gonna be an origin story. So,
like, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because I don't think there's never been anything for that.
No, because Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is based off books by Roald Dahl.
Yeah,
and then there's a sequel. There is a sequel to Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory book called The Glass Elevator.
Yeah.
Also by Roald Dahl. This is probably Roald Dahl's most famous book, along with BFG, Big Friendly Giant.
Oh, okay.
I quite enjoyed the original Willy Wonka. I
think everybody's watched it. It was a good time.
It was a good time, and this seems like it would be a good time also. And Timothée Chalamet, I think he's the right for the role. I don't think Tom Holland would have been right for the role.
No, Tom Holland would not have been right for the role.
Because to play Willy Wonka, you kind of have to be out there.
Yeah, that's why Johnny Depp works so well.
Yeah. You kind of have to be out there a little, and that's why Gene Wilder also worked well.
Yeah, because they were both people that were just kind of like they're all there, obviously, but they're also a little bit over there.
Yeah,
and a little bit up there, and maybe a little bit down there.
like
especially Johnny Depp being in all the movies he's been in with
Tim Burton.
Like, so
yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the only one that rings a
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot. And then Gene Wilder, who was a comedian. He's been in a lot of comedy movies. And a great actor. But he Blazing Saddles, but then he Young Frankenstein, which is a hilarious movie. What's your name? Igor. So Igor? No, Igor. But yeah, so this should be another good film. Next up, Kraven the Hunter, who is a Spider-Man villain, but now Kraven the Hunter is getting his own movie at Sony. So Sony's Marvel movie, Kraven the Hunter, has found its lead star on Wednesday. The studio announced that pardon me.
Jesus.
That Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's been in Kick-Ass and Avengers Age of Ultron, has signed on to play the Spider-Man villain. The deal includes multiple pictures of Taylor Johnson as the supervillain, meaning we're likely to see him showing up in the potential sequels and other projects in Sony's Marvel universe. Art Markham, Matt Holloway, and Richard Wenk, who have worked on Iron Man, Punisher, Warzone, Transformers: The Last Night, wrote the screenplay for Kraven the Hunter, which is billed as the next chapter in Sony's universe of Marvel characters, a cinematic universe that also includes Venom and Morbius. Avi Arad, who's a producer, has worked on Daredevil, and Matt Tolkman, the Amazing Spider-Man, are, like I said, producing the project, but it's still unclear who will be directing the movie. But Sony has set a release date for January 13th, 2023. That's not too far away.
No. Well, maybe we're finally going to get the teaser for the Sinister Six movie. He's a founding member, right? So
yeah, it's him, Morbius.
Yep.
I don't think Venom is a part, but it's him, Morbius. I think Rhino is part of it, and Doc Ock is part of it.
Yeah, and we're gonna, we know we're getting Doc Ock.
Mysterio's part of it too.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. I mean, I'm interested to see what the hell they do with it.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I'm surprised. When I think of Kraven the Hunter, I'm surprised that they got Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't see him.
Doc Ock, Vulture, Electro, Mysterio, Sandman, and Kraven the Hunter.
Well, they might be doing this,
and we've already had all of those characters.
Yeah, we might be getting a Sinister Six in the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Possible, yeah, because we already have Mysterio in there, and we already have Mysterio, Vulture. Yeah, Mysterio and Vulture with this Spider-Man with Tom Holland.
Yeah, and Doc Ock is going to be coming
via the multiverse. Back in this one, yeah, and then now we're going to have obviously Kraven in this one. So we're just missing the Sandman and Electro reprising.
Well, no, Electro's going to be in No Way Home as well.
Oh, so he's going to be. Oh, okay, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Then this whole might be the starting of the Sinister Six, possibly then.
Possibly, yeah. I know that Sony wants Venom and Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, to have their own movie together.
Yeah.
so that might be in the works as well. But Kraven the Hunter, man, I feel like that's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah, well,
but I wonder how they're gonna pull it off in today's world, because you can't you can have like a guy that hunts animals, but also like I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna spice it up a bit.
Well, he hunts humans and Spider-Man, and he went after Black Panther at one point too. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting, because I remember watching a Kevin Smith podcast, Fat Man Beyond, and they were talking about Kraven the Hunter, the one episode, and they were talking about how you make him a serial killer.
Yeah,
that's how you make him a serial killer, and he's hunting humans.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them doing that 100%. Like I think that's the only way to really do it. I mean, he could have started out as a big game hunter and then went to the ultimate game.
Yeah. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, kind of surprised at that casting. I would have casted I know Kraven the Hunter is from Russia.
Yeah.
But I know they're probably looking for somebody younger.
Yeah.
But I would have probably gone like Gerard Butler maybe.
I kept seeing weirdly for this exact casting, freaking Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that. I can see him being some sort of hunter.
Or that. Who's that lead actor from the show Vikings?
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
could get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just some guy who looks rugged looking. Get an actor who's rugged looking.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Taylor Johnson he played Quicksilver and Kick-Ass.
He's not. He's not a very rugged dude.
No, so get somebody built or
Think another way. This is the Sony universe, right? So it's tied into Marvel, but it's they don't really have their hands on it, right?
Yeah,
unfortunately. So we can only do so much with they can only do so much with the shit that they're given, because they still won't freaking sell everything to Disney.
Yeah. Next up, we have Amazon and MGM, and we're going to find out what they've been up to. It has happened, though. Amazon has merged with MGM in a deal that has seen the company pay a reported $8.45 billion. I'm going to say that again, $8.45 billion for the struggling studio, given the rights to the several iconic franchises, including Rocky and James Bond. Talks have been escalating between Amazon and MGM Incorporated for the last few weeks, which has concluded in $1 billion deal, meaning that the likes of 007 will now fall under the Amazon umbrella. And a quote here, MGM has a vast catalog with more than 4,000 films, 12 Angry Men, Basic Instinct, Creed, James Bond, Legally Blonde, Moonstruck, Poltergeist, Raging Bull, RoboCop, Rocky, Silence of the Lambs, I had to take a breath, Stargate, I was trying not to, Thelma and Louise, Tomb Raider, The Magnificent Seven, Pink Panther, I'm guessing that's the original Pink Panther.
I think so, yeah.
Or both. Might have been both.
I think he might. No, 100% MGM, yeah. MGM made all of them.
Okay. The Pink Panther, The Thomas Crown Affair, and many others, other icon, as well as 17,000 TV shows, including Fargo, The Handmaid's Tale, and Vikings, that have collectively won more than 180 Academy Awards and 100 Emmys. So Amazon now has MGM.
Yeah, which I'm surprised they didn't do earlier, because I mean Jeff Bezos, I think I seen he made 144 billion last year. So this is a drop in the hat for him. This is pocket change.
Is Jeff Bezos Dr. Evil?
I mean, at this point, if he wanted to be, he could be. If he wanted to buy everything, he could at this point. He makes
he's the richest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Which used to belong to Richard Branson, which used to belong to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Which used to belong which then used to belong to Donald Trump was up there at one point.
Yeah.
So but now I think this is a great move by Amazon, honestly, because
100%. If it wasn't going to be Amazon, it was going to be Disney. It was one of the two.
Amazon has they have stuff on their streaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of stuff on their streaming, but they don't really have a like. They don't really.
The problem is they partner with a lot of places, and the problem is you also have to pay for those partnerships on Amazon.
So Netflix, everybody knows Netflix does this. They partner with people,
but the thing is, you're only paying one flat fee, right? If you want to watch if you want to watch Stars on Amazon, you have to pay the extra amount of money for it. It's like another $10 a month. So, but this is going to basically open up everything MGM has on Amazon, which is a lot of shit. Like a lot.
You're gonna get a lot of shit, and you're gonna get some new shit because like so Warner Brothers, they were like, we want our own streaming services, so we got HBO Max.
Yeah.
Disney did the same thing with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
MGM didn't really do that because MGM was going bankrupt. They were kind of falling down.
Well, I mean, that's why it only sold for $8.4 billion. Like,
exactly.
They probably could have got a lot more out of them. Like,
so then Amazon saw this like kind of crumbling company who has been in the movie business since the 20s.
Since movies were a thing. Like,
because like freaking The Wizard of Oz that came out in 1939 was an MGM film.
Yeah.
And I believe same with Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
So I'm really burpy tonight.
Apparently, Jesus.
So now, like, we might get some new stuff from MGM because of this ownership.
Yeah, we can only hope. I mean, we'll see though.
We'll see. I feel like it. This will give you a reason to turn back on Amazon Prime.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, no, I don't know. It depends. Like, I've seen the 007 movies. I've seen
like
most of the shit that MGM has done.
Now it's like I turn on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, scroll through. I'm like, I don't looking for something new to watch, and I can't find anything.
Yeah.
And I think
that's the problem with it, though, right? That's just the whole thing. It's just the problem is there is a lot of stuff, but a lot of it is just it's not good.
No,
it's just not good.
And I also think they need a new interface.
They do. Their interface is so bad, especially on desktop or a laptop or whatever. It's so bad. Yeah. On your phone, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Like, the phone is not too bad, but like everywhere else, it's just fucking crap.
Yeah, you can't find anything.
No.
Yeah, no. I have a hard time. Like, I have a hard time finding what's new on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, why not have a what's trending or what's new section like every other streaming service has? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Other news. We're getting a Portal movie.
Cake is a lie.
The cake is maybe a lie, but here's the truth.
No, the cake is always a lie.
J.J. Abrams.
The cake is always a lie. Okay.
J.J. Abrams' long-rumored adaptation of Valve's hit video game Portal is in active development at Warner Brothers. So it's probably going to be out on HBO Max. During the press day for the home release of Super 8's 4K Blu-ray, Abrams confirmed that the Portal movie status to IGN. We actually do have a script that being written for a Portal movie now at Warner Brothers. Abrams didn't reveal the writers behind the Portal script or whether any directors have been approached about the project yet, but he is excited to expand on the fertile storytelling ground of the games. How do you think this would do as a movie?
If you never play the games, you're not going to understand anything going on in it because it's. I don't think this needs to be made because the games are. It's a weird game.
It is a weird game. I played. I don't have a vast knowledge of the game, but I played it for like a hot minute, and I did enjoy myself.
I played living crap out of the first and second one. They're some of my favorite games ever made, but they're not. Like, the storyline's funny, but I can't really see a movie being made out of them. It's weird.
I wonder if they'll get what's his name in the movie. Who did the voice for the Red M&M?
I don't remember.
J.K. Simmons. I wonder if they will get J.K. Simmons in the movie because he was in Portal 2. He did the voice for Portal 2. If you remember,
it's been so long since I played.
He was the guy on the intercom system all the time.
Well, that wasn't an intercom system. That was
or whatever. Like, he was always saying while you were playing Portal, he was always talking to you like this. And
yeah, that was Wheelie. Wheelie. He's basically a little floating ball that followed you around. He's the one who released you from your slumber and your as a test subject.
Oh, okay.
And then he gave you the portal gun.
Yeah, I wonder, like, so this video game movie sounds like there's gonna be a MacGuffin. There's gonna be like we have to find
The cake.
What?
The cake.
The cake?
Yeah, sure.
Like so it's gonna be the cake. Because I was like,
It might be the cake. I don't know. If you never played the games, it's very hard to explain why the cake is a lie. But the cake's a lie.
The cake's not there. Is the...
No, the cake's there. But is it there? We don't know. It's hard to. That's why I'm very weary on this. If it's even going to be good.
Is it going to be live action or animated? We don't know yet.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do live action for it because it's not. It's a weird game. It involves portals.
You know what just came
a rogue AI that keeps trying to kill you.
You know what just came up on? This would be a perfect movie to have. So if they do it animated, you can have so J.J. Abrams' production company is called Bad Robot.
Yeah. You
can literally have the Bad Robot mascot in this movie.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah,
There's enough character,
but like not as like a character, just like as a like.
Oh, it could be there.
Something to the side.
It could be there. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I don't know if this is gonna do well. I hope it does, but I also just honestly, like if I'm giving it a rating out of 10 now, I'm giving it a 5. Like I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be good, but I don't think it's gonna be like horrible.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very.
It
weird.
is gonna be weird. It is.
If you've never played any of the games, it's going to be even weirder.
And like, yeah, it was a weird game too. So.
And you haven't played it through all of them, have you?
No.
So, yeah, it gets weird.
No, the only one I played was Portal 2, and maybe like a little bit of the first one.
I literally have a picture on my Facebook.
Did you get it in like the orange box or something?
Yeah, the original Portal came with the orange box. Yeah, but that also came with TFT.
And Afterlife. No. Half-Life.
Half-Life, yeah. Yeah, Half-Life and Team Fortress.
Yeah, which was the orange box you got. It was like, what was it? Like I can't even remember. I can't like.
It was a Valve game thing
for like the original Xbox.
Yeah. It was literally an orange box. Yeah.
Anyways, so speaking of gaming, Rockstar Gaming is getting into the music biz.
Okay.
Rockstar, and particularly its GTA series, has long been associated with music because like soundtracks to those games are amazing.
100%. 100%.
So it's no real surprise that it's now co-founded a record label, Circle Local Records. Circle Local is a dance brand that puts on club nights across the world, with many of its associated acts already a part of the GTA Online. As part of its After Hours and Cayo Perico Heist updates, Rockstar is now teaming up with the brand to create Circle Local Records, which aims to support and elevate dance music culture during one of the most fraught periods ever experienced for clubs. Circle Local Records' first album will be Monday Dreamin', a compilation of tracks coming on July 9th from artists that have been associated with Circle Local since it began in 1999. That will be preceded by a series of weekly EPs made up of tracks from Monday Dreamin', started on June 4th. So this is coming June 4th.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. It's very cool. GTA has had, like, I would always be like playing that game and driving, I would always like change it to like the rock station or like the metal station.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find like I love music. I have a record player myself. I have over less than 200, but over 150 records at my house. And like if this is anything good, if they'll probably release their EPs on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to check it out on Spotify. But while they're doing this, still no GTA 6.
No, I don't think we're gonna get that for a long time. Honestly, they make too much money off GTA 5 still, which is surprising because the game's been out for almost a decade. So,
yeah, and so, but yeah, video game industry going into the music biz.
yeah,
And this is happening next week.
yeah.
And with this being said, that's it for the news. We're done with the news. Everything was talked about, and now we're going on this day in film and television history. So we have one thing, and this was 1942. Bing Crosby's. So 1942. That was 80 years ago.
Yes.
So 80 years ago, 79 years ago to be specific.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Bing
Close
Crosby,
enough for fuck's sake.
Bing Crosby records White Christmas, world's best-selling single, estimated 100 million copies sold. So that happened. He records White Christmas, which was a Christmas album.
No shit.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
All right, there you
go. Yeah. So, and with that being that's being said and done with, we now like to wrap up the podcast with a couple plugs. If you want to follow me or Derek, I'm at gingerfin92, and Derek is
King Derek on everything.
If you want to follow the podcast, we are on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and on Facebook, just type in A Brew for Two. You'll find us. We're the picture of the logo is me and Derek holding a bunch of beers.
Yeah, you can type in A Brew for Two on pretty much everything, and you should be able. If you find the logo, you'll find us.
Yeah. Twitter at A Brew for Two, Instagram at A Brew for Two podcast.
Yep.
And with the plugs done, the news done. Cheers, everybody.
Hey guys.